If you are supposed to start these things at the very beginning, well, this is it. I am a farm kid. Grew up on the family farm, homesteaded by my great-grandfather in 1869 in southeast South Dakota. Graduated from South Dakota State University with a degree in agricultural journalism. And as assistant to WOW's farm director Arnold Peterson, came to Omaha in 1964. And for the next 7 years, while I spent a lot of time in farm fields, I also became a reporter and anchor doing noon and weekend newscasts, and then was named chief newscaster in 1971. And when people ask, how did you get that job, Gary? You know what they say about being in the right place at the right time. Well, the previous chief newscaster, who shall remain nameless, around the 4th of July threw a cherry bomb in the men's restroom at Channel 6 while somebody was in there. The next day he was fired, and when I was asked if I would like that job, I thought about it for a while, about 5 seconds, and then said, yeah, that'd be great. And so began a 3-decade career of anchoring and reporting. And as for anchoring, a lot of co-anchors joined me on the set. The person for the longest period was Byron Wood.
Congratulations, Gary, on being named to the Nebraska Broadcasters Hall of Fame. It's a well-deserved, if not overdue, recognition of your contribution to the broadcast industry. I think the most memorable experiences were some of the lighter moments. Who can forget when we teamed up to do the Barking Dogs version of Jingle Bells for our Christmas party? For all I know, that's still on the internet. Again, congratulations, Gary, on a very well-deserved honor.
There were other co-anchors. That's Walt Dean with me, and Ray Deppa, who left Channel 6, then came back working for the competition. But notice something from those early years in this lineup, all men. When I started anchoring full-time in 1971, having a woman anchor full-time was not even a consideration. Pat Prasad was one of the first women to join me on the set full-time. And look at it today, almost a complete reversal. And there were other changes, not the reporting. Reporting has always been try to get it first, but get it right. The other changes were technical. From news film that you had to process and physically splice together the scenes, to videotape. No processing here, just plug it in. To small cameras you can take into the field and go live from the scene of any local story, to big satellite trucks that beam the story skyward and back to the station from anywhere. The anchoring for me was rewarding and fulfilling, but the real enjoyment was reporting, which I did a lot of with a lot of help. You can write the best copy, but in television it's the pictures that tell the story. And I worked with the best picture takers, photographers, and editors, and 3 news directors during my tenure, Jim McGaffin, Steve Murphy, and John Clark. And with their help, we reporters told of the student unrest that came with the Vietnam War and civil rights upheavals from the late 1960s and into the 70s. This was a July night in 1971 in Omaha's Memorial Park. The 1975 tornado that did so much damage along Omaha's 72nd Street. And the farm recession of the 1980s that saw so many farmers auctioning off their land, livestock, and equipment to repay mounting debts. One of my most interesting reporting assignments, Mike Plews and I were sent to New Hampshire in 1992 to cover former Nebraska Governor and then Senator Bob Kerr's failed run for president.
There was one strange thing that happened during this whole time. We got video of Electron the dog throwing up on Bob Kerr's shoe. Well, you can't make that up. It was a wonderful week, and I'm proud of what we did, and I'm proud of everything we did together, Gary. This is a good night for you, and you've earned it, pal.
Here in Butler County, where Glock lives, the number of irrigation wells has about doubled in 10 years.
This is a documentary from 1981 on the potential loss of water from the Ogallala Aquifer. that huge lake under the western two-thirds of Nebraska from which farmers draw water to raise crops worth billions of dollars. And this guy, cinematographer and producer Dave Hamer, who himself was inducted into the Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 2007, worked with me on it and many others.
This is my little grandson, Keith Beretta. I'm taking him because I want him to see where Nana came from.
And this is one of my favorites. Dave and I took Rose Breesy of Omaha and her grandson back to New York's Ellis Island, where she told him how 74 years earlier she had come through this port of entry as a 9-year-old immigrant from Carlentini, Sicily. She remembered it like it was yesterday.
No mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great.
And we took World War II Omaha Army veteran Roger McCarthy and his wife Patty back to the beaches of Normandy, France, where he told her what it was like on June 6, 1944, to be among the first soldiers to land on Omaha Beach in the liberation of Europe from the Germans. And Dave and I remember the 1952 Missouri River flood that would have inundated vast stretches of Omaha and Council Bluffs were it not for the heroic efforts of thousands of volunteers.
Gary Kerr performed a vital service for the community. For many years, he delivered honest, straightforward news stories every day. The viewers trusted him. Hard work, integrity were his trademarks. Again, the viewers trusted him. And that is, I think, the sign of a great journalist.
And I want to end this from the 1990s, one of my last reporting trips. Ray Mines and I covered the motorcycle rally in Sturgis, South Dakota. Any direction you pointed the camera, there was a story. There is a saying in our business that you live and die by the ratings. And I lived very high by the ratings, which were very good in the 1970s and 1980s. But then in the 1990s, the ratings went south, and so did I. That's okay. Very little is forever. So I left the anchor desk but continued reporting until I retired at the end of 1998. So my thanks to all those people who helped me and shared my love for this business. And my thanks to the Nebraska Broadcasters Association for this honor.
Congratulations to Gary Kerr on his induction into the Nebraska Broadcasters Association Hall of Fame, class of 2022.